Artists of the world unite. Step out of your comfort zone into the danger zone.
They loved 80s cartoons. Even with beards and tattoos, you know they haven't changed at all. Filling sketchbooks every night, getting better with each line. Sketchbook heroes, imagination burning. Sketchbook heroes, sketchbook heroes pick up the sketchbook heroes. They all seem to have a neat line. Sketchbook heroes.
So, welcome back to the 61st episode of the Sketchbook Heroes. So, on this episode, we're going to give you feedback. And I also forgot to introduce us, but it's me, Elias.
And me, Robert.
And on this episode,
We're going to talk feedback and all that entails.
exactly.
And with that said, we're just going to speak openly and honestly about the pieces that we look at.
Straight from the heart.
Straight from the heart, yes. And
Okay, guys.
yeah,
I'm
so
gonna
try
flip this
not
for you.
to take it personally, the people that we do choose. With that said, thank you all for sending in stuff. There's been way too much.
Oh, yeah.
And
So we're just going to choose a couple.
because a lot of the stuff that you send in look really good, and a lot of stuff that a lot of people send in are like actual art pieces.
Penis.
And you can't really comment on real art,
shit.
because if it's not supposed to look like anything, we can't give you feedback because it's your art. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's
when
hard to explain.
I guess what Robert's trying to say is when it's too abstract, it's sort of more feeling involved. There's no sort of like, it could be interpreted in so many different
Exactly.
ways. There's no right or wrong doing sort of,
Art.
art. No, but just when you do stuff like that, when it is abstract, it's really like, what am I supposed to say? Your abstract lines need more
Yeah,
there's not much I can sort
that's exactly what I'm trying to say.
so it is.
We can't give feedback to stuff that's not meant to get feedback, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, exactly that. It's super difficult to give you anything to sort of go on. Like, we can grab this one, I guess, as well.
Yeah.
So, motherfucker.
And no offense to anybody that we didn't choose, obviously.
Yeah,
'Cause
there's
right
just
now-
too many of them.
Yeah.
We're just going to choose a couple of these that we've sort of... Yeah, I guess we could take this one as well,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, there was some small things about that one. Dude, can you send me the other one? The one
Oh,
with
yeah.
the thing? I like that one.
Yes.
Some of these are there's not much we can say about it. Like, you're still developing probably, so. Okay, guys, now let's get to it. We have all three of you. So for those listening, if you have the ability to log onto YouTube, then you should look up Sketchbook Heroes, because I think you can get like the visual support for this episode. We're going to try to make it as inclusive as we can, but there are some limitations to what we can and can't do. So this episode will be very experimental.
Very.
Very, yeah, exactly. Just
How do you want me to send it, bro? Do you have AirDrop?
I think I do, but I don't know. Is that still a thing? Because I don't have it on my phone anymore.
You don't?
Let's see if this one has it. Nope, no AirDrop anymore. I don't know where to... No.
It's
this
in,
is AirDrop. Yeah, I have it here.
You have
Yeah,
it?
just send it.
There you go. Boom.
Approve
Cool.
it. Accept.
Accept.
Sweet. And now I have it, I
yeah.
think. Yeah, cool.
So his name wasn't on it, so I'll name drop him when
All right,
that's
guys.
time.
Now we have finally set up.
Yes. And like we said, this is an experiment.
Yeah, this
We,
episode is very experimental. And I don't
'cause
know.
The way we're set up right now is Ilias is crouching on the floor next to his iPad, which
Yeah.
if you're watching the YouTube clip, you can see it's filled with images and stuff and thumbs. But yeah, his knees are gonna give out in about 5 minutes.
5 minutes, yeah.
Yeah. So let's just speed this along. Let's just jump straight into giving feedback and drawing over stuff while we still have energy.
Oh shit, dude! I don't even have the names here. I just realized. So if you could just check them on the Sketchbook Heroes.
I am going in.
So I'm just gonna start here on this samurai piece. Oh, you can see it quite clear. Cool. Okay, so my problem with this piece is not the piece itself, okay? There's like so many details fighting for attention. We don't really know anything about the samurai. Like, there's just too much information. And there's no focus area, you know, like, is it the face? Is it the sword? Like, they're all fighting for the same type of attention. So I would sort of, like, if I use this, let's get it into Procreate.
Let's do it. And this piece is by Jeffrey Honesta.
Exactly that.
Jeffrey Honesta.
Okay, so where is the thing? This is not the thing I was looking for. So let's see where the roll is, the photos. Seriously, is it going to be this hard every time? Yeah, like you see, this is very sort of insert photo. Okay, I'm the idiot here, so don't worry about it. Now we figured it out. Okay, let's get it in. Samurai guy.
Jeffrey, let's do this.
All right, buddy. Let's just fucking get it in there. It doesn't really matter.
Demon Samurai, dude.
Demon Samurai, let's add some layers on top of that just because. So we're drawing this in Procreate. I'm just going to I'm going to color pick whatever he's using. And I'm going to take my pencil. There we go. HB, right? That'll work. Yeah, that's not going to... Okay, let's go a bit darker than that because it's super annoying. Okay, so what I would do to sort of...
Let's break down the image first. So for people not watching this, it's a demon-esque orc samurai dude.
No, but I think it's like one of those feudal Japan, you know.
Yeah, one of those demons, right?
Demon masks,
yes.
Yeah. Or maybe a demon in itself, yeah.
Probably. Which, the idea, I love it. It's got a lot of good things happening in it. And a lot of stuff that we're going to comment on. But all in all, a good, solid sketch.
Yeah, I think so too.
With that said, let's dive into it.
So what I would do in this one, for example, is that we talked about all these focus areas. So why are they all fighting for attention? Where is the light coming from as well? Like, I can see that the sword is sort of like reflected on his... So we're going to assume that's the sort of... The light source is coming from the... I don't know. It's coming from somewhere. Like, I feel that he's breaking his own light source.
I'm a bit lost here as well.
So we're just going to pretend that it's coming from the upper... From the right side, okay? From the right-hand side.
Yeah, exactly.
So what I would do is sort of like unify some of these shadows, for example. Like, I would try to avoid having like too many details. Like, you don't need all this detail here. Like, I would let sort of the head... Damn it, I need it to be darker. This feels weird. There we go. That's my default gray.
It's going to be easier for people to see, too.
I think so. So what I would do is... Now I'm drawing over like a traditional drawing, but... What I would have done, sort of, was like all this stuff, all this information, all this noise, I would get rid of. You know, I would unify the shadows a lot more. And then just, you know what? I think we need to use his own grays because this is looking weird. But yeah, I would sort of just unify all this. Like this, all this information is totally unnecessary. Do you know what I mean? What I would have done was sort of... See, let me switch color picker. This is easier. Let's just go straight down. So what I would have done was sort of this thing. I would let a lot of the detail that I don't need sort of fade away and unify a lot of the shadows.
Definitely.
And maybe even put the face in.
Yeah, get some more shadows in the face, or get some sort of volume happening.
I think so as well. Like, so I'm just gonna roughly, because we don't have time to paint all of these, but I would sort of have done, you know.
And that's also a great way to sort of mask if you're not happy with the perspective of a face, because I have some issues with the face, even though it's a demon, so you can't really have any issues with it. But it sort of looks like it needs a little bit, a little bit more TLC in the face. Tender love and care.
Tender love and care. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what I would have done was sort of this. I would leave some of the details that you have going, but I would still obscure a lot of them sort of in darkness. You see what's happening on the arm, for example.
Exactly.
You get a lot of the, like...
And you can already see that he has, or it looks like he's thought that way, but then he's gone over it and put a lot of unnecessary details into it.
I think so too.
The problem here is obviously that he's probably using an HB pen, which is the same value.
Yeah,
and
of course.
you're not going to be able to get the different sort of lifts if you're drawing too hard.
Shit, it disappears when you do that. Let's not do that.
So it is a normal
it's
pencil
like a
sketch.
pencil sketch. Yeah.
So if you went in, like what I would do with this, I would definitely just go over it with some ink and do fine lining stuff, and that way you can also see where your unnecessary details come in, and what you can keep and what you can lose.
Yeah.
I love doing details, so I'm not going to trash it too much because
No, I love detail as well, but I
It's,
think that you get lost in the... You don't know what to look at here,
exactly it gets cluttered.
Yeah. So...
It's like coming into a hoarder's house.
Exactly.
You're
So
not
I
sure
would have
where
sort of
you're-
like lost some of the detail here, so you can play around with the, like, for this sort of thing on here. Like this thing could have, it's a sphere there, I think, like some type of...
Yeah.
So what you could have done here, for example, if you had gone all dark, for example, first, like I'm gonna just cheat now with digital, but because it's faster and you can't do this with pencil, but
You just use an eraser.
yeah, but I would have done sort of like, you could have, like if you had played around with the highlights, you could have gotten this type of thing. I don't know if it shows. Yeah.
Just a little sphere. You get that instant 3D volume to
Right.
it.
You get that.
It's easy once you know how to do it.
And I think you have a lot of sort of like, you get to know how much thickness there is like in all these different parts. Are they sticking out?
Yeah.
Are they above something? And then you can keep, like parts of the necklaces and the ropes that this type of armor has,
Yeah.
You can put like focus on it. Because I feel that you lost a lot of the detail by having it all, like...
But it's a good, like, just adding that...
Oh, sorry, guys.
Adding that sort of the ball on his stomach or whatever you want to call
that
it.
sphere thing.
It ties in well with the other spheres or the balls that he's got around his neck.
And even this,
sort of-
look, I'm just adding this part.
Yeah.
You have the bounce slide on the bottom of the arm, for example, because they're all cylinders sort of playing with the same... Like, it's the same thing over and over, and I think that's the best thing about black and white in general.
Yeah.
So, yeah, this is what I would have done. I would have sort of, like, lost parts of the face to make it more interesting. And...
Yeah, and that way you could do, like, one of the eyes would, like, shine or...
It could light up, exactly. It could
that
be...
would make it even more demonic
so
in that way.
if we do that, for example, for this eye here, just like... I'm just going to crudely do it now, but... You sort of get what we're saying, sort of like... So if it's shrouded in dark, you can play with the lights and so on. So if you would have this, and then I would have sort of gone all the way here. I would have sort of gone like this. And then like lost this eye, just have the silhouette of it.
Yeah.
And then this horn you can play around with, because that horn is sort of sticking out. And what I like doing when I shade like this is that I like sort of thinking of it as a sphere, so you can sort of light up the... Let's see what the fuck I did now. Okay, let me grab some pure white that you should never do. But for this example, I think it's fine. So what I would have done is sort of this thing here. Like where I just let the darkest part be, in the front there.
Yeah.
And play
'Cause
around with it.
It still is a sphere.
Exactly.
And that, again, we keep nagging about the basics, but that's something very important to know. A head is a sphere. It's a round shape. It's going to have bouncing lights all over
Yeah,
it.
and I think it's important, like, if we're going to talk about the light, this whole character is sort of based off... let's grab this. Like, the whole character... I'm going to zoom in here now. Like, the whole character is sort of... has a lot of spherical shapes. So, this would be sort of the way to go, you know, like you have your highlight depending on where the light is coming from, of course. But then this would be like the full character would be sort of this thing, you know. Like you would have this, and then you would have some type of bounce light, I guess, at the bottom.
Yeah.
Sort of lighting up, you know, like the pressure is not entirely fixed here, but you get the sort of gist of it, okay? So you can use this to shade most of it. And I think that's the best thing about drawing in like black and white as well, is that you are able to do that.
Exactly.
So you don't have to think about the color, you don't have to think about anything else but that.
Yeah.
And same thing with the sword here, depending on the angle, since it's not like a straight, like it's not two even sides, this probably would be highlighted and this side probably wouldn't be, you know. So you could do that as well.
And again, it also comes from where is the light source coming from?
Cheat this fucker.
Because the way we saw it was that the light source was coming almost from the direction of the sword, like
At
to
first,
to the
yeah, exactly.
to the far right of the image, I guess, or something. And in that, like, if the light was coming from that direction, then it would bounce off of the sword
So
straight
I would
away.
have sort of this thing happening, and you'd probably have some type of reflection happening in the sword as well from, you know, stuff, but this is just too small. But I would have done sort of this and then highlighted the other side. But in the video, you can sort of see what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, you would have had more interest here. Like, you're getting some reflection from, I don't know, the surroundings, you know, depending on the angle of that.
Yeah.
And like here as well, you have like on the hilt of the sword to the hand, for example, you could have added some, you know, dark.
Yeah, I mean, it goes
keeps
without
going,
saying
I should
throughout
have
the
this
full
image.
image.
Yeah. I think it's super crude. I'm sorry.
And I mean, we're
retarded.
we're trying a new
Yeah.
format. Like we said, this is new for us. It's very interesting.
But I think we're going to leave this one and just move on, because I think we've spent a bit more time than we planned.
Yes.
But I think the sort of the examples were good.
Let's just back it up a bit and let's break it down to what we have focused on here. So we focused on, or Ilias, Ilias is the man holding the pen today. So I'm gonna say we constantly, even though Ilias is drawing everything.
The principles are from both.
yes.
Though, like
But so we focused in on, okay, less clutter, save it with more contrast or more daring shades, I guess. You don't need to have full resolution on every piece of jewelry or strand of hair that you're drawing. So just cheat where you can is a good way to say it.
I think that's really good.
You just make, if you have a hard light source coming from one direction, obviously it's going to be a hard, shadowy side on the other side of it.
Yeah, and also you'll, like, if you have a hard light on the face, you'll sort of lose a lot of detail.
Very
and
much.
if you take a lot of selfies, I'm guessing a lot of you sort of have a stronger light than you would necessarily have in a normal photo, just to get, you know, some, I don't know, like some facial creases away or something. You know, cheating.
Exactly.
So we're all digital artists in our own way.
You know how to do this.
Yeah. So I guess that was a pretty good summary of what we did here.
Yeah.
Like, we focused a lot on like cylinder shapes and working with that in mind.
But all in all, like, if we don't talk about what we've done here, I think the sketch was solid. It was good.
Yeah.
I liked it. I really love the texture that he has on the armor plates on the one that you can see on the
You're
creatures.
talking about the shoulder pad?
Yeah, the shoulder pad. I really like that one because, I don't know, it looks right. He should have done his research in how the armor is stitched together, because I think that is the opposite way. I think...
Is it?
Not sure.
Oh, yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. But I think there are different versions. I don't know. I'm not sure. I can buy it, though.
Yeah.
Like, I don't mind.
I'm really nitpicking here.
No, but I think...
all in all, I really like the sketch. That's
exactly.
pretty much. So...
I would have focused on the detail on the right-hand side, for example, and then let the other stuff go into darkness.
Yeah, because that's what he's done on the other side, but that doesn't make any sense,
it doesn't make
because
any
the
sense.
light source is coming
and he
from...
has pointed out the highlights here as well, that there is light coming from the right, so...
That's the thing. So, sorry, your name again was Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
With a J, not a Jeffrey. So Jeffrey Honesta.
Yeah, Honesta. You can see
Jeffrey
it
Honesta.
there super
There you go.
clearly.
So good. But yeah, so obviously he has decided a light source, but he has strayed from it.
Yeah.
So Jeffrey, get your shit together, man.
Yeah, stick to your light source, son.
Stick to your light source.
Okay, let's get another one in.
Yeah.
Uh,
But no offense. Good job, Jeffrey.
Good job, dude. Awesome.
And thank you for submitting.
Yeah, okay, let's take this lady here.
The lady.
She's a lady. I don't think we need to look at the bottom part. I think the bottom part is nice. She's armless. We all get it. It's good stuff.
So this piece is made by Obvious and Totally Aware.
Totally aware. That's what it was. Okay.
Or Farah Ware. Farah.
I don't know what the reference here was, or if you just made this up. But we just have one little problem with this one. And it's just the hair, really. Like, it looks like her hair is starting off underneath the back of her jawbone.
I'll just add that she wrote saying,
Oh, that's good.
I like parts of it, but the light and shade on the neck and hair bother me.
Okay.
And she's happy to get any type of advice. So, here we go.
What
Farah.
was it? What was it? Hair and...
The shading, blah, 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 blah. Shade on neck and hair. Shading on the neck and
okay,
hair.
neck and hair.
Neck and hair. Neck and hair.
Okay, so...
So yes, we do agree with both of those.
Yes.
But necessarily not the shading.
Yeah, I think we have one problem, like I said, is... Like, overall, a nice piece.
Yeah, it's
that's
very
why
interesting.
we've zoomed in so much.
It's a mixed media piece, just so you know. So
Yeah.
there's a lot of stuff happening.
There's a lot of traditional work that came in.
I'm guessing watercolor and marker.
So I'm just going to sort of like paint over this part. Because this part that I'm painting over is by the back of the jaw, sort of close to the ear, where it looks like her hair is sort of starting underneath her jaw.
Yeah.
Which makes it look like some sort of Wolverine sideburn.
Yeah.
So we're just going to remove that. And I think that might give us sort of a clearer structure of the
neck.
The neck.
Yeah,
but I
exactly.
think we have a problem with the overall structure in this one. Like how you built the head.
Yeah.
And I think that is something that we've seen. Like if we go back a bit, like let you know what? Let's kill this layer. And I'm going to show you something. I'm going to drag down the opacity here.
Yeah, let's just break it down into that instead. I think that's better.
I think that's better as well. I think this is where you'll learn more. I know that you wanted like to talk about the hair and stuff, but I think the problem where it looks a bit off, like the neck to hair part, is sort of like, if you would, I'm on the wrong layer, of course.
Of course.
No, I turned off the layer, of course.
Nice.
Let's see. Okay, this is too thin, and that is too weird. Damn it! Yeah, you see where we're going with this. Okay,
And again, Farah, this is a really cool piece. I really like it.
I like
Great
it.
details in the skin and face. Love the color contrast of the hair, eyes, background
try
with
some.
the hard black, black and white dress that she's wearing.
Just trying to find like a good one that you guys can see. Okay, that one is the perfect one, I think. Okay, so
All
for
right.
example, I would start with sort of like getting the head in. How did you build this head? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because a problem I'm having right now is that the left side of the face does not match the... You see what I'm saying? Like, the head would need to be like over here for this to work. You know what I mean? If you...
Oh, yeah.
You haven't centered the head, or like the way she's sort of looking, it looks like she's pressing her chin into her...
Exactly. She's doing like the double chin thing.
Exactly, but then her jawbone is so high up to her ear, where it's sort of like, I think you're gonna have a problem with this no matter sort of how you tilt it.
Yeah.
So this area here is the problem, and the head is like too far in, unless she's doing... And also the direction of the... You're getting...
The side of her head, you mean? Or
Yeah, I think they're all sort of... Like, there are a couple of different directions going on, where, like, the eyes, you see where they're going? They're not going in the...
They're not in the same direction.
Yeah. So if I take that away again, like, it's going to be really hard to sort of... Oh, shit, I went too far. We went that far. God damn it. Yeah, this is very new to us as well.
Patience is key when drawing digitally.
No, it's when you have this set up
When you're
and you don't
drawing
know what you're doing.
anything.
You see what I mean? Like, this is the head. This is what's happening right now.
Yeah.
And it is, I think it's going to be a super hard save. Like, you could sort of fake it to look okay, I think. You could still make it work. But like I said, that jaw is like way too high because you're not consistent. Like, you can make the craziest jawline. Sorry, guys. I think that's fine.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have to. You could follow everything, but I think you need to be consistent.
Yeah.
Like, if you do it on one side, it sort of has to be applied on the other side. And also the ear, like, it's up here.
Which
Like,
is,
the
it's a
ear-
good line. I like it.
I think the like, usually when you draw ears, like, if you feel where your ear sort of, like, the highest part and the... Oh, shit. Hit the mic with the pen. I think this is way too high.
But that's...
But it's like, if it's a style thing, I think it's totally passable. Like, the ears can be higher, the jaw
that's
can
the
be...
thing. Like, I've drawn...
I don't mind.
I've drawn plenty of portraits where you have the ear, like, it's
Yeah,
located over the eyebrow. Like,
Yeah.
it starts really, really high up.
Yeah, but
And I don't think the ear really does anything
I
wrong
don't
here.
think the ear does anything wrong
It's
as well.
good.
It's also like, if you look up, you know, the ears seem further down. If you look...
But
Like, vice versa.
speaking of the ear, I mean, because you can see so much of the ear, then it's very apparent that she's turning her head a lot.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
you can see the inside of the ear.
And then the head should be, like, the face, the whole head should be out here, I feel. Yeah.
Exactly. You should, like, cut it out and then move it
It feels like it should be, like,
Like,
here. Yeah, you know,
2 centimeters to
just to
the side of it. Yeah.
get...
Because I
you know,
think
like,
that's what makes the whole thing looks weird.
Yeah, I think so, too. Like, this is what you would have
Look
needed,
weird.
sort of.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To fit the body. So here you see sort of, like, where the face and size of the head maybe would have
Yeah.
been. Like, this is just...
And we're just nitpicking here because this is art and it could look any which way you want it to.
Exactly.
And now she's asking more about the shadows
So
and
let's
stuff. Let's
do
jump
that,
into
though.
the shadow.
Let's do that. But
Yeah.
that was just, I think...
Because that's
a tip.
that's
that-
how we think about faces and
Yeah.
anatomy. Again, going back to the basics and studying your anatomy and learning
Yeah.
how a body really works and looks like.
Yeah, and you could also do what I did and just redraw your own drawings. You know, like,
that's a
it's
great
always
way to
fun.
learn.
And also do that on your reference, like, if you're ever using reference and you just, like, don't understand the shapes, okay?
Yeah.
So for now we're going to go in and sort of play around with
I'm
that.
a bit confused of where the neck starts and ends in this piece.
Yeah, exactly. And that is, I think, a big problem for me as well. So I'm just going to, like, paint with my most normal brush here.
Yeah.
So, okay, this is where the problem is. Now we've cleared up sort of, like I said, the head is a bit, and the neck is a bit off because of, but I think if you don't connect the, yeah, I think that's the problem. Actually, why you can't make it work, like the neck to hair, like, it is this area here that sort of causes the confusion. So just by clearing that up, what you had before, where the hair sort of started here,
Yeah.
that clears a lot of that up. Like,
Yeah,
you can see...
it's already like it's calming my.
No, but let's do this. Let's color pick this part, for example. Like, if I would bring this jaw down now and bring it to, like, I'm just going to ruin your artistic freedom here and just put the jaw in a place where I'm just going to do this so it doesn't break the, but you're sort of getting to a place where, like, where you get a separation. That's what the word I was looking for. And also these lines here, the shading here, like, I understand what you're doing.
Do you?
Yeah, really, she's trying to get these the tendons that go around, like, the you know,
yeah,
up
yeah.
beside the, but you don't really get that clear read, I think.
Again, it's knowing the body and knowing what they look like. And if you look like this, or if you know somebody that looks like this, I'm sorry. I don't mean to.
No, but I don't think, like, that's not what we're saying,
No.
sort of.
And everybody is built in a different way. So obviously there is no super right or wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're gonna go with like the norm, then
What
we
is
need
the
to
normal?
then we need to calm this down. First off, doing a goatee on the girl. I mean, it is 2018.
It's fine.
It's
No.
fine, but maybe not do it the pointy goatee type of shading under the chin.
What?
Because where is the light source coming from here?
My question is also like, is there a reference for this? Because
Exactly.
there are a lot of sort of different colors playing here.
Yeah, because there are some really fancy.
The greens are awesome.
Yeah.
But inconsistent. Like, is there only green here and not, you know, in other areas? Why is there like purple, red, and that greenish tone again? You know, like why the
Why the big
Why-
different?
why the jumps here? So I would like, I know this is a traditional piece and you can't do shit to fix it unless you paint over it with oils. But I would sort of clean all. Do you need all that information? Like, unless the reference had it and you want it, then I understand.
Yeah,
But I would still sort of go for a cleaner.
yeah. Like
Just like-
where you need to think. Where do you want your audience to focus? Do you
Yeah,
want them
I
to
think so,
focus
that as well.
on the neck or the face or the dress? Because obviously they're going to see everything. It's not like we're saying that people are just going to look at the face, but you need the one thing to really grab attention. And in this case, the neck really grabbed the attention because it looked strange, and that like it drew my eyes to it.
Inconsistency as well in the
Yeah,
colors.
yeah.
Like, the body has a lot of colors.
Oh yeah,
But it also, like, under the eyes, it's a bit bluish, you know, like because of the veins and all
yeah,
that's
yeah. We have a
underneath.
lot of colors
So
going
there
on.
are, but I think you need to study up on that and sort of work with that.
Yeah,
And also make, like, I think your biggest problem was sort of the jaw
the
to
jawline.
hair, yeah, because you had hair starting in the jawline. I think was a big sort of problem.
yeah.
But I think like
But
just cleaning it
all-
up a bit now.
Already now it looks a lot calmer. you know?
Exactly. And I would say, if you're unsure, don't be afraid to do like the structure that I drew, because I think that'll be way easier for you to sort of work with. Then once you have the structure, like usually I find that the structure can sort of limit me sometimes. Like I get too stiff.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do like a rough sketch, like very loose, and then I go on top of that and make the structure, and then I fix whatever the fuck is wrong, you know?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't go in and draw the eyes in detail,
No.
but I do like a simpler version of what I'm intending to do. Then I put the structure in just to make sure I'm doing it correctly. Also looking through my phone,
Yeah.
like you guys are doing, and sort of catching all these things. Because then you'll know that your head is like, either she's looking like really
Yeah.
like into herself. like,
There's a lot of stuff you get for free by doing that.
Yeah.
And looking at it now,
I think
the
it's-
eyes are a bit off as well.
No, but that's what you saw when I did because the structure
Yeah,
sort of like
'cause-
they're not on.
You have I mean they're looking.
Oh,
like,
you mean
she's got a lazy
yeah.
eye.
Yeah, well, this one is slightly bigger and this one is slightly smaller as well.
Yeah,
But I even have that in reality, like
Yeah,
where
yeah, I
my
know.
sort of one eye is more open than the other one. so-
but it was just something I noticed
Yeah.
now. But I think we've said what we need to say
Yeah, about
on
this
this
one, right?
piece. And this is a great example of using minimalistic details to make hair look
Yeah.
alive. You
Oh, yeah.
got great colors going on in the hair. It looks really fiery and vibrant.
But I have one last tip for that as well.
Yeah, and you can still, I mean, obviously you can still go in and keep adding volume to it. And remembering your light source always is very important, or light sources, maybe. And just stick to it. And I think that's all I have
And
to
I
say at
think
this
like
point.
closer to the scalp, where you sort of like, if you would have sort of covered like parts of the ear, like you could have seen the bottom one and then just sort of like, you know, covered parts of it up. Like I'm just going to crudely paint over here. You should have gone, you know, oh, Jesus. I just feel that you should have gone in the darker areas of the hair. You see, digital and traditional work so well together. You should have just gone sort of, I'm going to just be crude here and just fill it in like poorly. But you should have gone like darker, you know, in the darker areas sort of the parts that you actually made dark, but you didn't go dark enough, I feel. Like you could have gone braver on those areas and then maybe, you know, have like a couple of strands of hair that was sort of sticking out there.
Yeah.
But
I mean, that's an easy fix if you're painting with gouache or something.
and you could still do that to this image.
Yeah, you can always go darker,
Yeah.
which is good.
Because I think if you, like, just getting a bit darker on some of these areas would have been awesome. Like, just going in, even now, depending on when you did this painting.
Yeah.
But just, like, going in and not being too afraid to sort of add a little to the dark.
Exactly. And this is not us telling you how to paint or draw.
No, it's just
something that...
I would have done
yeah.
this way. You can do it in a million other ways, you know.
And this is something that can't be helped. Because obviously, as soon as we start talking and drawing stuff, we're going to go directly into the way we think and we draw. And again, we're not professionals in that way.
Yes, we are.
We haven't done this for 1,000 of years.
Look, and if
we
you
haven't read any books about this shit. We're just looking at it through our eyes and a new pair of eyes for you guys. So hopefully we're saying something that's going to resonate with you and
So
help you. So
yeah, there's a million ways to skin a cat, right?
Yes, always.
A few ways.
Or
Yeah.
just the one. But yes, skin goes off.
So I think that it's like you just need to be when you decide to add darks, and I can see that you sort of didn't go all the way. Add more dark, you know, like go darker. It's fine. Like
there's a good way, you know, the whole squint technique.
Yeah.
You know, step away, squint your eyes, and look at it. Does everything look like a big messy blur?
Does that look good?
It's just the one color, or do you see different values? If you don't see different values, you might want to add some.
Yeah. It's a bit like trickier when you're traditional. I think digital has a lot of ways to help you.
Yeah.
This piece, the next one.
Sorry, just wanted to give Farah another shout. So that the piece was by Farah Ware, or Obvious and Totally Aware on Instagram. She's got great stuff. I really love the style. Like, seriously, the only nitpick from my side was the neck.
Yeah.
I had no big problems with the other stuff.
Neither did I, actually. It was just like a tip.
Yeah.
Just like, if you try this next time, it might sort of help you with the neck part. You'll have it more clearly defined, and you'll understand that hair doesn't grow out of the, you know, like, you wouldn't have the hair from the jawline.
No.
Like, even though hair could touch the jawline, you would see that clearly. It wouldn't look like it was growing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. All right.
So this is your buddy.
Yeah.
Or like a buddy.
Somebody.
Somebody.
that sent this to me. So this is Joanna Ferreira. Ferreira.
Joanna Ferreira?
Joanna Ferreira.
Why is that super Joanna Ferreira?
She's doing awesome stuff.
Yeah. Can I see her work? Because I think I met her at... Can you go into her gallery, like the full gallery? Sorry. And go down. I don't know why she's so familiar. God damn it. Okay, cool. We've talked about this image a bit.
Yeah.
Like, it's a bit... it's a bit... It's not getting that much. Like,
or her Instagram name is j.f.poet. That's a P-O-U-E-T. Poet. JF Poet.
Yeah. So I like this one. Like, I like it a lot. There's a story element to it.
Yeah, there's a lot to like in this.
Yeah, there's a lot to like. And most of the things we're going to address are sort of things that break the illusion from this sort of fairy tale. I don't know how clearly you guys can see what's wrong. But there are, like, some things... There are some inconsistent sort of light sources. So, for example, we have a dominant light in the middle of the screen. So, for you that are listening, there's this old man magician, sort of, sitting in a chair with a wand in his hand, sort of, and a kettle on the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah. and he's sort of doing something to it, and like green, like liquid is sort of flying up towards his.
Yeah, like green, turquoise, bluish,
Yeah.
liquid, shiny stuff is coming out. It almost looks like what's her name, Katara, when she's
Katara, yeah,
moving
from
water
the
bending,
Avatar, yeah.
like from the Avatar. Yeah,
Yeah, Avatar.
It sort of looks that way.
Yeah, and then there's this kid opposite him sitting close to a pile of books and like scrolls, and he's looking like amazed. So that's awesome. And the problem with this one though, like that we sort of have, there's this like super nice like quickly sketched background that you can see in the image here. It's all like sort of faded out, like it doesn't take too much focus. You get the gist of the stuff, like vials and stuff on the, you know, like the shelves and stuff.
Yeah.
But then you have some stuff that are equally far back, like the chest here,
Yeah.
that is not as blurred out. And it doesn't really add anything to the actual story. Like the main characters and the kettle are sort of the protagonists of this image.
Yeah.
And I think the old man and the kettle are sort of like the first reads, you know, like you would read these dudes here. So, dudes. Okay, the kettle is a dude.
Dude.
But then we have a couple of things that I feel that they take way too much attention. Like, I think these could have been equally faded away. Like the chest there. It could have been like pushed way back.
Yeah.
Like, and then you have like the book under his chair.
And it's not under his chair.
It's
If you
the-
look
I
at
know,
it,
I
it's
know.
on the other side
It's on
of
the
the
other
chair.
side, and it's such an unnecessary sort of.
It wouldn't be visible at all. Like there would be no light if the kettle on the ground is the only light source in this
Yeah.
image, which is the only one that I can see.
Yeah.
Pretty
Exactly.
much. There would be no light on that side of the chair. Like
But-
he is sitting exactly where the shadow would be casted from that light source.
Yeah, and I think something about that book, like in real life, that could happen, but when you're creating a piece of art and you're trying to tell a story, you know, we place the books in a seemingly random area.
Yeah.
So I think that book is just totally unnecessary for the whole image itself, but it's like a small thing.
Again, yeah.
But I think the biggest problems I have with this design is the inconsistency in the green light.
Yeah.
The characters in the image are sitting so close to this magic, like turquoise light, but they're not. It's not reflected on them. It's like a white light on them instead.
Yeah, they have a light source that's exactly. It's more of a white light or
Yeah.
a cozy, warm light. Like,
Yeah, exactly. And it sort of takes away a little from, like, it feels like another light source. I would have loved to see it sort of like, I'm just going to add a bit. Like now, this is not going to be beautiful in any way. But I think all these things that are sort of close to the, I'm trying to keep it a bit zoomed in. But I would have loved to see, you know, because, and the further away you get from this image, like the boys, like the clothes would also be affected by the green. Like if you've ever been to a room with a sort of
with just the one light
with
source.
the one light source, this boy would have been green. You know,
Yeah.
he wouldn't have been anything else. There is no white light here whatsoever.
No, you wouldn't be able to see the reds in the skin
No,
or anything like that. So
no, it would primarily be
it would just be the green and maybe green to white almost
Yeah.
sort of lighting. So
or like green to brighter green,
yeah,
sort
exactly.
of like, and
That's exactly what
and
I
then
mean.
also playing together with whatever, you know, the skin translucency, all that stuff.
Yeah.
But we won't go into too much of that.
I think
But
to save a piece like this, I would add another light source. I would have like a candle on the shelf in the back.
I think so too, because then you can
Or-
get the warmth back, sort of. Because the
Exactly.
green is going to give you like a sort of bluish, coldish,
Exactly.
you know,
So
thing
that
going.
way it's going to be a nice contrast working.
Yeah.
And it's going to stay sort of cozy and nice and warm. The feeling that it already has.
Yeah, exactly. And here again, like over here, you have these things. Like this light source seems fairly strong.
Yeah.
So I would love to have seen, you know, a bit of the green, like maybe not all of it. Because, you know, if you've ever, like, I know that the misconception that a torch can light a cave, that's not a thing. But I would still sort of fuck that is too harsh.
No, I think it would be really cool to see what the hard shadows that are cast from this would do to the piece as well.
Yeah,
Because there's a lot of debris or like stuff in the background. What would happen like to that once the light hits it and casts a big shadow behind it, you know?
And the question is, since nothing is really lighting up the room, why are you letting it take attention? Like, why not surround it
Do
in
a
sort of
vignette type thing.
It doesn't have to be a vignette, but it could be sort of like, you know, what's lighting up that area of the room, you know, like how strong is this light? You have to decide those things, you know.
Yeah.
And I think like unless you have like a warm light coming out of the page, then just darken it out, you know, like, because you can get more focus. Like you could have the stuff there and then just have, you know, parts of it just like sort of hint to it, but go even lighter than I have there. But this is just to show the people on the live stream. So try not to like think about what am I primarily trying to say with this image? Like don't go crazy with the details, because I see that you clearly sort of made a decision. Yeah, you made a decision to not show the background, but then you decided to show the chest and the things. You know, I would have just hinted at them, like just like some stuff, just for fun, if people want to look deeper into the image, but they wouldn't be like secondary or third.
No.
In my sort
And
of.
I'm confused to where this is, because in my head, you wouldn't really have big chests in your living room.
No, but it's a comfort, you know, like.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have that in your living room either.
But you do. This is not a living room. This is like
an attic. Is
No,
what I
but
would say. Like the way it looks. If you look at everything,
yeah,
it's got more of an attic type feel.
for me, I feel like it's a study of some type, like one part of a study. But
Then I would have a big bookcase in the background or something,
Yeah.
you know.
But we have one more thing here, and you pointed it out actually. It's where the kettle is placed. They're both sitting opposite each other, but this kettle is like so much closer to us.
Yeah. Like if you look at it in a 3D type space,
Yeah.
they're sitting in a triangle with the
Exactly.
granddad or old man opposite the kid.
Yeah.
And then having the kettle like being the bottom or the tip of the triangle downwards, I guess, if you look at it straight up. So the kettle is closest to us, and then they come behind it. God.
And we went there again.
Damn it.
Yeah. So actually, those are my main sort of concerns.
Yeah.
And also, like, one tip that I can give you sort of out of the box here, you have this little box here. What I would use that box for example, on the left-hand side, there is a box that breaks the direction. Like, this book down beside the box is awesome because it's pointing towards the kettle.
Exactly.
You're
It's leading you into it. and-
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a good flow in the image as well. I like it. Like, it all leads down. You have a clear source of, you know, some mysterious magic.
Yeah, I think so too. And also this lighting that we created, like this super diffused lighting here though, we darkened it down, but you sort of create a circle that people can sort of travel around.
Yeah.
And if we had time, we would have done something better. But but we're just saying that, like, the comfort here or the chest or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you don't need that information. Like, it adds nothing to this image.
No.
Like, what I would have done with that, if I wanted something in there to sort of, like, I would have done this. Like, for example, I'm just going to switch to something a bit harder. If you wanted sort of a thing like that, I would have added it to the front as a silhouette type of thing. You know, I would have added something here maybe.
Yeah, to put them more in the space.
Yeah, frame them
Exactly.
even more.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't think I went dark enough here.
Yeah.
But you get the sort of what I'm saying. Like, I would have added something here to sort of hint to what this room was, you know, like, I don't know if it would have been the candle that Robert was referring to, or, but you know, you could have added some stuff here that wouldn't have taken so much focus. Let's go a bit darker, just, I think, for the live stream. But I would have added a penis here, apparently. This is a candle, and a Totoro doll, because that's important. No, but it's just like, I would have done something here, maybe. Depending on how wide the image is, sort of like leaning into the center again.
Yeah. and I'm just looking at like the readability of the piece. It really reads. You read
I'm just gonna
everything,
take that away
but
now,
you don't really get led into the boy. I think because he sort of disappears. It's just his face sort of shines out, but then he disappears into the background.
But I think he's like secondary here. Like the old man is telling him something, and then I think like it's here. Like this is
Yeah,
the
I'm just-
sort of like the lighting.
Yeah, because you sort of go this way. You follow the light in here, and then it ends, and then it has to. You sort of. I don't know. I need something more. I'd like a little bit more of the boy now that I'm looking at it more. But you know, this is the
But then
bad
again,
thing.
if you had your light source that you were talking about, like let's say you had a warm light source on the outside of this window here,
Yeah.
you could have had the boy. Oh crap! You know, I forgot I switched. Okay,
Yeah,
let's-
exactly. Then
Then you could have had, you know, like I'm just gonna crudely do this. This is his hair, but and you shouldn't do this hard. But I'm just gonna like, fucking
he's a punk.
yeah, exactly. So I'm
It's
just
awesome.
gonna like super. I'm just gonna do something like, let's say there was some sort of like he had a candle here for some reason. No, but you get it. Like then you get him out again, and then you have the green sort of.
Yeah. Yeah,
you
because
would
that
have the
way
wo-
he'd get the attention that he deserves as well. It makes sense with other colors.
Like
Yes,
his
it's-
body, like his soul is leaving him, like, and this
yeah, that's
weird
a penis.
Penis, yeah.
That's a penis.
Yeah, we're just gonna wrap that one up.
But yeah, we like all in all, it sounds like we're trash talking the fuck out
No,
of
I
these
like
things.
it. I really like
love
it.
this
Yeah.
image. It's awesome. It looks like it's straight out of a children's book.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Like this could be a full book.
Also, the whole rendering of the piece
yeah,
is
I think
nice,
it's beautiful.
smooth,
I love
warm.
the style.
Yeah, this is the stuff that I wish I could do more.
But I think like the main thing here is like if you have a strong green magical light, let the magic go. You know, like
Yeah.
let it go places. But you decide how strong it is, like how far does it reach. But if
Yeah.
you're gonna have like white light sources, then you better have a real good reason to why. Because
Exactly.
even the lightest of light sort of highlights are usually not white.
Yeah.
Like sometimes they give the impression of light or white because of contrast, but they're usually like if you color pick like white like
Yeah.
bright areas,
It's gonna be
like
blue
yellow,
or
it's gonna be
yellow.
blue,
Yeah.
exactly, pink, like it just looks white.
Yeah.
We totally get it, but
There pretty much isn't anything called white or black in this world. Everything is
matter
just
if
really,
you're black
really.
or white.
Yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. No, I'm not gonna dive into that.
doesn't dive into anything. Let's move on.
Let's move on. But yes,
Okay,
that
so-
was JF Poet
You shit, what the fuck? son?
or Joanna Ferreira.
Sounds super familiar.
Thank you so much for sending in your image.
Yeah, it was awesome.
And this one was to me personally, so it feels very, very
Special.
special.
But
So thank you very much for that, and I hope it was helpful.
oh yeah, I hope we weren't butchering it, like, because
Like-
we really did like it. It's
Yeah,
an
yeah.
awesome piece. We talked about it before the show. Yeah.
Exactly. It was really awesome. And
So this next one is a type of sheriff barber.
yes,
I think so, at least. Like, I think it's a sheriff barber.
I
Right.
think it goes without saying.
Yeah.
Yes. I like the whole look of him. He's got a cool pose. He's very, it's like, I don't know. He's a badass character.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing he.
Do you know the name of the person that made it?
No, I'm trying to find.
Yeah,
him.
we're not very good at this. Like you've noticed. So we're gonna take the opacity down. I think you wrote though that you you went this far with it, but you can't sort of figure out, like you felt stuck. There's something off, but you can't really sort of tell what it is. I think.
I'm
Why
still
does it
looking
sound like there's a fan in here?
because we're right next to the computer stuff.
Oh
Okay.
shit! So this sound is gonna be on all the time. Oh, but maybe our limiter will fix it.
I think it will.
Cool.
All right, so I found who it was. So this piece is made by Adam Duboison or Duboison Arts.
Okay, that's
Dub-
gonna be
You Dub you is on. God damn it, I suck at pronouncing stuff like this. Dubuisson Arts.
Is it dub like D-U-B-O?
D-U-B-U-I-S-S-O-N.
Okay, you lost me.
W-E-Son _ Arts.
Yeah.
Totally slaughtered your name.
Okay, should this be the last one? Because it's already been an hour?
Yeah.
Ish.
Yes.
So, and then we can do like a little retro or something
Then,
about Annihilation, maybe.
Yeah, we can do
Because
that.
I've seen it.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
Sweet. All right. Yeah, let's dive into it.
Okay, so this
Do his
man,
own.
yeah.
Or let's just call him Adam now. Okay.
Do you know the what was the critique or the thing? I think
So
it
the
was,
comment that came with this is, I feel like I'm going wrong somewhere here, but I can't pinpoint it.
yeah. Okay, cool.
So with that said, let's fucking tear him a new one.
No, but for me personally, like, I think the anatomy is just a no-no. Like, I like this sort of.
Well, this looks like a character that I would make. Like, it's got the same sort of build that I normally do with the whole gorilla build.
Mm-hmm.
Big arms that, you know,
like-
when I ignore stuff, when I just go
Yeah.
crazy, you know, my graffiti type style,
Mm-hmm.
you know, that's where this comes
Because I
from.
like where this is going. I'm just gonna like sort of paint over this
Yeah,
because I
there's-
feel like, for example,
There's a lot of stuff that's sort of, it doesn't fit.
yeah, and I think a couple of things that you're missing is like muscle. Like, where the hell is the tricep? The triceps.
Yeah, because with this character especially,
Like, he
you have
gives that buff
yeah,
impression, right?
it looks like he's got a cool build, you know. He's probably got a lot of muscles underneath all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would like to see more of that
Mm-hmm.
here. So I'm gonna bring his arm there. So I'm gonna give him a tricep. I'm gonna give him an elbow. So for example, this was already something I was missing. So now he's got an arm. You see that? He's got a bit more volume there. It feels like he would have like a pretty, like either like a fatty chest, you know, like a sort of like muscly where the chest is sort of like,
I
but
think
then the
it's-
belly under, you know, sort of resting
That's
on.
exactly how I.
Yeah. So I would sort of add that support there and then maybe have this gut like coming down like so he wouldn't be that fat on the back, you know, for some reason, but he would really have this sort of belly thing
But that's what
going.
happens. Like when you train a lot and then you
And
sort of
then
let
you-
it go.
And I
then-
think where you don't sort of
It's-
train down, you
yeah.
know, like you just let it go entirely.
like my uncle Pekka,
Yeah.
same thing. But now he looks like Barba Papa.
Yeah, exactly that. And here again, like I think the face here, you didn't take into consideration any type of perspective here. You just drew like whatever felt right, which is also cool. That's fine. But
It's
if you're,
g- it-
it's gonna
it-
get harder to
yeah.
paint, I think.
It makes for a more extreme pose because he's really twisting his head away. For people that can't
Can't
see this,
see it. Yeah, it's a super sort of.
yeah, he's like
extreme-
standing in. I don't know. It's a very masculine pose with his arm resting on his
Mm-hmm.
waist, and he's looking away. It's sort of a mixture between Captain Morgan and Superman.
Yeah, but I think like you're saying that he's fat, like around that neck,
Yeah,
but you haven't given him, you know, like what I'm seeing sort of. Like I'm gonna just draw actually not what I want, but what you've done. I'm gonna just support your. So the skull is super small. There's like some type of head up here. That is like it's super sort of like forced up by his throat. Like this is what I'm seeing, you know, like this super thick neck supported by, you know, this thing here. Like
Yeah.
this is what you're doing. But you know, I think the angle is even like you've done some sort of 45 angle, but straight from the side.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's sort of what makes it. And I think that's
I
what
guess,
you're seeing
but
as
this
well,
is,
Adam.
this could work, right? This could work.
Yeah,
like
that
this
could work.
thing, I think could work.
Definitely.
So what we could do is sort of turn it around a bit.
Yeah.
But this is sort of what you've done. And I love this sort of like big, fatty, sort of throaty neck thing,
Mm-hmm.
like in the front. Like just like the belly, you have some sort of...
Yeah, and I like the
thing.
fact that he's stretching it out, so he's hiding his double chin because he's stretching out his
it
head.
out. Yeah. And then I think just that the legs are just not...
Yeah,
They're too short. He's either a dwarf, like a, you know, final... Like he looks like a... Not like a short person, but he looks like a fantasy sort of...
Yeah, that
like,
type of dwarf.
Yeah, like those... Like the
Gimli.
dwarven race,
Yeah.
not like actual short people.
Did you see that post that I posted on Instagram with the with the elves. Never
No.
trust an elf. And then
Oh no.
like
I
all the
didn't.
major elves from Lord of the Rings have become big bad guys in the Marvel universe.
No. So look here, like just the thighs. I think, just the thighs on this guy are already.
Yeah, they're
Just-
taking up everything.
Yeah, they're taking up all the leg. So I would have just done, like, either give him like the tiniest legs for contrast, or just go,
Yeah,
super just go super fucking wide. That's what I would have done. Like I would have either just gone the one way or the other. Like I would have just gone super super wide, like, and either put this leg like further away and then have this one come super close, to the sort of to the viewer.
I would have definitely gone the way Adam has, because that's the way I draw
Yeah,
those
yeah.
characters as well. But like you
this
said,
one.
I would have done. I still love a good calf.
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
the calf muscle. I
Yeah.
love having a defined foot and calf, knee,
Yeah.
and thigh. So I would still do all that, so it would be
Yeah,
very visible.
Yeah, I love that too. Like so I would have done something like this, for example. I wouldn't
I
have.
think that looks really good. Like,
Yeah, and this hand I don't really mind. The only problem I have with this hand, again, you've drawn it without thinking about it.
yeah.
So
and
there's no.
Yeah, I was going to comment on the
Yeah.
hands as well.
So you need to sort of like think about it in 3D, man.
Like, hold a knife in your hand, take a picture of it,
Picture, yeah.
and then draw it.
Like this is what you want. You want this box. You understand what we're saying, sort of. I hope this helps. Like you want this box to sort of like, and you make it into a hand, but you need to sort of think of it as a 3D thing.
Always.
Yeah. So
where
if this-
where is it in the living space of this character?
Exactly. So
Will it work? Like,
The worst.
how do you hold a knife like that? And then you need to imagine yourself holding a knife like that. Like, grab a banana maybe, or something angled the way the knife is. Hold that in your hand. How does it?
let's leave it like that.
How does it actually? How does your hand grip around the object that the character is holding?
Mm-hmm.
These are really important things, and they're really subtle little details that could make or break the whole image. Because looking at the hand that was before Elias made a box over it,
Mm-hmm.
it was really flat, even though
Yeah.
it had all digits. But
Yeah,
it was
exactly.
really hard to define what it was.
So let me do this, like just to show you the before.
Yes.
So he's a bit taller. You have a lot of fun stuff. Like I really like
Yeah.
the small head on the thick sort of.
And I can
throat
already
thing.
see this in art of book for some game. Like it does look like a proper character design.
Yeah.
But we're nitpicking, obviously. Like, we're grabbing stuff that we can actually talk about, and we're talking
Yeah.
about it. That's what we're doing.
I think we're taking the stuff that we think most people have. Like I don't mind the clothing and stuff. Like you need to work on your folds.
Yeah.
And see why things are like acting the way they are.
Yeah.
But you can't do that because your character doesn't have muscle.
No.
Like it doesn't have. Like for example, when you get this part, you'll know that the shirt is probably going to be a bit snug here. Mm-hmm. So you're going to get some sort of folds there. You're also going to get, whatever's happening between the bicep and the
forearm.
the forearm. Yeah, exactly. You'll have a problem there.
Yeah.
Or a problem. It'll be tight around the elbow probably, and then like you'll get something over there, for example, and so on. Like all these things will give you some sort of information to what is happening.
Yeah.
And I think you need to sort of just look at some examples, like anywhere online, how to draw folds. You'll get tons of great examples explaining sort of.
Yeah,
the
the how do you say it? The science of the
the
fold.
science of the fold. Yeah, I'm still not very good at that
No,
either.
no. I'm
but I
always
have some
improvising.
sort of
Yeah.
like a small couple of hints.
We have studied quite a fair bit of it,
but you still like sometimes it just
but it's not fresh enough to be. We can't create perfect folds from our heads, or I can't.
it depends. Sometimes it works.
Sometimes you
and-
look out, definitely.
But I
I've,
think if I would just go back now and just look at it, the understanding would be more sort of like instant than before.
Yeah.
But I think this is like the biggest what we can do for this image, because I think it's like it's fun.
Yeah.
Like you've done something, but you need to sort of work with the volumes that you've created, because
Yeah.
right now you're not using any type of like we've talked before, you don't use a structure to build up your character, so he looks a bit, like Robert said, like that hand was flat. I told you that the head didn't have a direction, like it had a couple directions. And if you do it like this, and maybe if you add like a circle, you can sort of get a gist of the area that he's standing on. You know what I mean? Just this thing here at the bottom. Like for those of you watching, it looks like he's standing on a 3D space. Like you have this fake shadow here. Then you get like, okay, that foot is on this line and that foot is on the other side of the circle. And you get sort of like a depth thing.
Yeah.
I think that was actually Steven Silver that said that. That was a really good tip.
What was the tip? Because
That was the tip, the circle.
Oh, the circle.
The circle was the tip.
Okay.
So yeah, I think you need to think about your shapes as volumes though. Like this hand connects to this box. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is also a cylinder. And this is also this is a cylinder that goes and connects down here.
Yeah. Well, more of a cone shape.
No, but they're cones.
Definitely still cylinders.
Yeah, exactly. They're like a bit different. This is also, and it's pointing downwards.
Yeah.
Like the direction of this leg is going downwards. You know what I mean? Like if you did this to the character, you would know that this is facing down. Like the gut is sort of like going both directions. Like you have this thing going.
Yeah, exactly.
The tits are then, the man boobs are going like this. The face is like, the chin is sort of slouching down, but the face is still going the other direction, like there are, like he's sort of looking up. So the head and the gut, I guess, have like sort of the same thing going. Like there's parts of it that is sort of looking up and then slowly going more down.
Yeah.
As you come down.
There's a twist going on.
Exactly. And then the arms are sort of like third on a downward spiral as well. You just like, if you do this to your drawings, you'll sort of see the direction. Like you'll understand the depth of your character, like the 3D-ness.
Zoom in
of
on
it.
it a bit.
Is it?
Just
No, I
so
think
people can see
no, they
the
see
swirly
it.
swirls.
They see it. It's clear
Nice.
as day. So you see here, like you can see the direction. That is that part, and that is that part. Like you just get you understand where it's headed.
Well, something that helps me a lot in a situation like this is drawing the underpants.
No, it does.
Yeah.
Like this part, like
Just because that way I
the
can
poop box,
see.
yeah.
So I know
I guess here you
the way the legs are attached to the
yeah.
hip. And
Usually
so
I
on.
would draw that, but since we have this like sort of gut here,
Yeah.
it would be covering up a lot of that.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then sort of, but I
in
think
my head, it's
I
still
do that.
there.
I draw it.
It's
I draw
just-
it as well.
Just a little tip.
I think
from-
that was just one of my shortcuts more than it was something. Yeah, because I usually draw it as well. I think it's a very nice indicator where the sort of hip bones and all are
it
connected.
just comes,
yeah,
automatically.
yeah, default.
Default. But yeah, no, again, Adam, this piece was really,
It's so much better now.
really awesome. And hopefully this is helping a lot of you people out
Yeah,
there
man.
struggling with anatomy and stuff like this. Everything that we're commenting on is really because all of these things are based in reality somewhere. And that's how we can comment on them.
Sketchbook here is reality.
But so that's why we're saying like this looks wrong, because compared to the stuff that we've seen in reality, it should look more like this. That's why we're commenting the way we are commenting.
Yeah, it's not so much about the art like that you've
No.
done or the style. Like
Definitely
that stuff,
not.
like your jaws, you draw jaws like that. That's great.
Yeah.
If you understand the base of it, like how a jaw works, then you can exaggerate it however the fuck you want.
Yeah. And again, like all the pieces that we have worked on here are great.
Yeah, definitely.
And the stuff that we've been sent is really awesome as well. I wish we had more time to go through all of them like this. But if you do want some actual feedback on the images, please just write us an extra line on your post or the image that you sent,
Yeah.
and then we can comment on it privately.
Yeah, the thing is, we got more than we expected on this.
Way too
Usually,
much.
you guys don't respond on prompt.
No.
When we prompt you guys, like there are some of you that do, but then there's like, so we don't really always know the extent of the response that we get. Like sometimes we get like 3 people.
Yeah.
And then sometimes, like today,
Yeah.
like I don't know how many we got, but
No, we got like
but-
20 within an hour.
yeah,
Today.
from the
From my
from
post.
this one, and then I
Yeah.
got the other ones as well.
So we have a lot of posts.
So yeah, we took a couple ones that we thought we could sort of go through fast, and I thought we would have gone through more, but yeah. That's how you
No,
think
this,
it's gonna be.
this takes time.
Yeah.
Like it's not
It's
an
already
easy
been 1.5.
Yeah.
Not
And-
1 hour and 10 minutes. Sorry, my time is a bit off.
What was I gonna say? I think I've said everything I need to say. Just really happy that you guys really wanted to do this with us, and like
Yeah, it was a huge experiment.
this. Yeah, I don't want to say sorry.
no, but it's not about being sorry. I think
It's. I mean, we're learning. We're trying different things here.
Yeah.
We know that it's an inconvenience to have you look at the YouTube thing while listening to it, or
Yeah.
maybe just looking at the YouTube clip. So
But this was a test, I guess.
yeah, this was a proper test.
Yeah, because we really, like, you should have seen us before the podcast. We really,
We had to think.
we had to think and set it up in a way that would be sort of enjoyable for you guys.
Yeah,
And
there's a lot of components to fix here.
Yep. And I think this episode, like, I think it's gonna be. I think the YouTube will have more views than the audio
Yeah.
here. But we tried to sort of make it as listenable to non-visual listeners,
Yeah.
I guess. But it's super tricky.
It is.
Since we have an actual visual here that you guys won't be able to see.
Yeah. But again, we do have the YouTube clip. You can go in and you can watch it.
Exactly.
And obviously, it's like if you're listening to the podcast on Spotify or something,
Yeah.
it's probably not going to sync up 100%.
Exactly.
Most of the
Probably
stuff-
not.
Most of the stuff might, but just be ready for total chaos.
Yep.
With that said, we love you so much. Thank you for
we
listening.
love you so much. Yeah. And by the way, what was the name of the last guy?
Adam.
Adam?
Yeah, I'm gonna.
Yeah, Adam. If you're watching or listening, if you want the sketch that I did over your work, feel free to reach out.
Yeah,
like-
Elias is going to save it.
I'm gonna keep it here. So if you would want it just for reference, like if you think that it's valuable to you, the correction of the post that we did, that I have it, man. Just like send me an email and or like a DM on Instagram, and I'll send you
Yes.
the supporting lines.
And this is Adam. His name is Dubison
Oh yeah, that one.
underscore arts.
I got it.
U is on arts.
Nice.
So yeah,
Yeah, guys, this was like an experiment episode. I don't think it's something that we're gonna do in this format. I think this needs to be done in the future. I think what I've learned is that this needs to be a separate thing, where we just do it on YouTube and focus on that,
yeah,
and maybe have like a fixed camera.
yes.
It's sort of fixed now, but it's a
It's
MacGyver fix.
It is. It is a definite MacGyver fix.
Because it would be awesome to sort of get questions and stuff. Like when I do my Instagram live streams, I think that would be... Because you guys are sort of part of the creation and you're asking me to draw stuff from scratch. And I try to not make it look entirely like shit. But, you know, it's more of showing than being awesome. So I think that's going to conclude this episode. Or should we do the retro? So the YouTube dies here and then we move on.
Yeah, let's kill the YouTube.
Yeah. So guys, thank you for watching at least. And we're going to take the audio to the next level.
Yes.
So it's retro time. Thank you, YouTubers.
Thank you, YouTube.
We are out and hope you sort of learned something
Or-
from this
or not.
crazy fucking endeavor that we just...
Yeah, we did something.
We did stuff. Thank you again for your patience for this video. We love you guys always.
See ya. And we're still live, so for you people listening, we're still here. It's okay.
Yeah, people watched 5 hours total of this video.
Wow.
That's more than I expected
That's
anyone to
impressive.
do anything about that shit.
Especially when we only recorded like 1 hour.
Yeah.
How's that possible? No, I'm kidding.
5 people watched for 1 hour. 5 hours, bro. Okay, right. Let's do this. I think that one is just about the hour.
All right, 1:14.
1:14.
Nice. So
All
that
right.
leaves us with a good little outro and retro.
Yeah. So, guys, thank you for bearing with us, because that was fucking...
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it was.
It was a fucking experiment. I think this was like on me for getting too excited about this. But yeah, it should have totally been like a thing before we recorded the podcast.
Yeah.
But I think we also got started too late. So
Yeah, we did.
but
That's
we did
my
try.
bad.
Yeah, but that's fine, dude. This is our lives right now.
That's how it goes.
They're not gonna change because we sort of like
Yeah.
fuck it. So again, thank you and sorry. Like if that's totally like if you can't listen to that.
We're sorry.
Yeah, we're super sorry.
Thanks and sorry.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Sorry.
It's so bad. But yeah, no, it was still a fun experiment, and you guys seem to really like the idea of it. So, I mean, it's gonna need a little bit more work, I think, to figure out all the logistics of the whole thing. But we did it. I mean, we actually managed to produce something.
You know what I would have wanted though?
Pizza.
Like no. I would have loved to see sort of like us both drawing at the same time
Yeah.
on the same thing, but explaining it in 2 different ways, like how we perceive it. Because now it was just like
Just
my
commenting.
way. Yeah. And I would have loved to see your version of the same things that I did and sort of how you would have handled it.
Yeah, because we do have pretty different styles. But that's why I wanted you to do this more, because the stuff that we wanted to talk about were more in your ballpark, so to speak. Plus, you're more handy with the iPad.
With the iPad.
So it just made more sense that you did it. Plus, we didn't have to run around and do stuff. So I was happy just sitting here
I'm
watching.
glad we
and
didn't do
talking.
that version because I think that would
That
have
would
messed
have
it up
been-
even
yeah.
worse. Yeah.
Because we are surrounded by microphones right now.
Yeah.
It's
And chords, and it's all chaos here.
it is all chaos.
We were like, oh yeah, we'll do it like this, and then like 45 different problems. And like, no, we'll just move this here, and then that'll solve it, and then like another 45 problems to the one we solved.
Yeah,
So yeah, it didn't go as smoothly as we planned,
but it did go.
but it did. Yeah, exactly. And I think editing will tell how fantastic that was.
Exactly.
So to satisfy you all,
We're doing a little retro.
because I think this is the part where everyone sort of like, goodbye.
Exactly.
Yeah, so this week's retro, we're going to be talking about Annihilation that Robert mentioned last time
Yes.
with our childhood love, Natalie Portman.
Yes. And hopefully a bunch of you people that listened in last time have had a chance to see it.
Mm-hmm.
That way, you can also be a part of this conversation in spirit. But yeah, I really hyped it up. I've hyped it up to everybody, and I think that sort of ruined it for a bunch of people.
Are we spoiling it, by the way?
Are
or are
we?
we just like, yes, or?
Yeah, let's just say
Fuck.
spoiler alert if we're gonna fuck up and spoil
Yeah,
stuff,
exactly,
because I
'cause-
want to talk about this more freely.
So do I.
We're not gonna go in like the whole Star Wars episode, but yeah, spoiler alert.
And not frame by frame.
No. So let's a quick summary of the story. We follow Natalie Portman's character, who is named something.
Natalie
she-
Portman character.
Yes. And I'm guessing she is a biologist.
No, the other chick was.
The other chick was
She
a
was
biologist?
something as well.
Yeah. But
No, she was a biologist. You
Yeah,
were right.
right.
I was wrong.
So you follow her character in God. This is the first time I've ever tried to explain the movie, because every time I start talking about it, I'm like, no, I'm not going to say anything because it would probably spoil the fuck out of it. But anyways, an alien entity has entered Earth and has created what is known as the Shimmer,
The Shimmer, yeah.
which is Area X. So it's an expanding area where this sort of alien infection has taken place. And what's happening in this area is that it's sort of splicing the DNA of everything in the area. So, for example, they study a flower, and on the stem of this flower are multiple different species of flower.
Yeah. Exactly that.
And that's pretty much, like, without spoiling way too much, that's sort of what it is.
Exactly.
So
we'll leave the good parts in there. Yeah, well, let's not.
It's a proper sci-fi movie.
Yeah, and also this is based off books.
Yeah.
Like there's apparently, I think 2-3 books.
I think this is it's just the one book.
Is it just one? I thought there were
but
like
it might be in like a full series of different books that are tied together, maybe?
I have no idea, dude. I did not.
But the book is called the same thing. It's
Is
also
it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure, not 100,
Okay,
but
yeah.
I think it's called Annihilation as well.
Okay.
And there's a lot of differences between the movie and the book.
Yeah,
So
exactly. They went different directions, I think.
The
with
movie
some
is its own thing.
Yeah.
Don't think about the book. It's based loosely off of the idea that
I'm
was
guessing
the
the
book.
books are better. Like they're all like you can get
Probably.
more detail and explore the. For me, this movie, for example, went a bit too fast. You know, like
Yeah.
some people said it was too long, but for
I
me,
don't think
in
so.
that amount of time that it sort of ran, I felt it was too short. Like not enough
Hmm.
developed around the world. Like you got some pieces, and I love that, but I wanted more.
Yeah, and that's apparently in the book. Like the creatures you see in this one
Yeah.
aren't in it at all.
Okay.
So I think the movie is probably, for me at least, better.
yeah,
I
it
think
depends on what they discover.
the
I
book
guess in the
might
books,
be
yeah.
a little bit too slow, I guess.
Yeah, maybe.
And
Damn
again, what was his name again? No,
Poe Dameron guy?
not Poe Dameron. I'm thinking the director and writer,
Oh shit, I have no idea, dude.
Alex.
Baldwin.
Fuck, I totally forgot his name now. Go back to the last episode and listen.
Yeah, listen to
Garland,
that.
something.
Or just Google it, whatever.
But this is the guy who made Ex Machina. And
yeah.
Ex Machina is written by the same guy who wrote this book. Like, so it's the same author and same director for the movies. So
I still
if
haven't seen Ex Machina.
No, same
but...
here. But I'm guessing if you like that one, you're probably gonna like this movie.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just dive into what did you think of it?
No, I liked it. Like I like Natalie Portman. It works. It feels solid. She meets the other people. She meets the girl from Thor and the others.
Tuva Novotny
Yeah,
also,
and the Swedish
actor.
Tuva Novotny. Also in love with her as a kid.
Oh yeah.
But
did a great job.
I did a movie with her, or like a TV show. Yeah.
Which one?
183 dagar.
I remember you talking
It's a
about
show,
that.
yeah, it's shit. Anyways, no, but she meets this crew, and I really enjoy, like, I don't know, like, they could have developed the relationship between these characters more, I guess.
Yeah, but
But
they're also...
these are the things that I sort of lacked. But I still enjoyed watching it. My main sort of dislike is sort of how it all ends.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what others think. I know no one that saw it, so except you. And oh no, Andy at work hated it.
Of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It all depends on where you come from. I sort of love that world exploration thing that they're doing in the beginning, and yeah, without spoiling anything, they find some interesting things that really worked for me. Like,
yeah, oh yeah.
I loved all.
I mean,
those.
you've seen this part in the trailer if you've
Yeah.
seen the trailer. I would recommend you not see the trailer if you haven't. Just
Yeah.
go in blind and see this movie.
Exactly, without expectation.
Yeah.
But I really like that particle, that it breaks up everyone's DNA and also infuses all that. Like it breaks apart and sort of
you
builds.
have endless possibilities with
Yeah.
that concept, and that blew my mind. Like
I love that. Yeah.
when I first saw the movie, because I saw this movie 3 days in a row, and I've seen it with and without substances, and it's equally as good, I would say.
Yeah.
But it blew my mind, just that idea. It was such
Especially
a simple...
if you were high.
Oh yeah, but it was such a simple idea,
Yeah.
and
Super
they
simple.
they just made it work perfectly.
Yeah, they have some nice examples of something I would love to see more of. And I think that's where my interest lied, and then at the end it just got
Yeah, I mean,
like
obviously,
sci-fi, too sci-fi,
Too
almost.
sci-fi.
Yeah, it went the predictable route. That's what I felt
Yeah.
it did.
yeah, I agree with you, but I also
But you-
disagree because I like that ending.
Okay.
I like that it's open to, anything could happen here.
No, but I didn't feel that it was that like.
It's something mysterious happening and it ends.
I didn't
li-
feel
I-
that. I
no.
didn't feel that. It just felt like I don't want to give it away, so I'm not gonna say what it is. But for me, it was just like, whatevs. Like-
We have spoiler alerted everybody, so
Yeah,
you
I know,
can't say
I know.
whatever you want.
But the thing is, I really shit. What was it? I was thinking of
ending bad.
yeah the ending, but I had a thing before that. But fuck it. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking spoil it. Fuck it. Anyone that's on here, this is gonna be major spoiler. Okay, like I like the idea that this thing is created from her. Like she it takes that other lady and dismembers her entirely, and then takes just a drop of blood from Natalie Portman, and then sort of becomes like a reflection of her, but its own entity. And they have this sort of like mirroring thing,
Yeah.
and I'm totally for that. Like I like that part is fine with me, but it's like when she gets back to base and they sort of have that talk with her, I like that as well, that she's sort of telling it. But then again, like I expected her to be like it's the real Natalie Portman, but she's been so altered
That
that she's not the Natalie Portman that went in.
yeah.
So for me, there's no mystery really.
No.
It's just that she's been so altered that she's more part of the shimmer now, or that whole environment. So when she comes out and they give away the little glint in her eyes, because he's like, "Are you Jane?" or whatever the fuck her name is, and "Are you my wife?" and she doesn't reply, and sort of that thing. It's sort of like, I was, but I'm not. And
Yeah.
then they both have that
Or
eye
like,
moment.
I don't know. would have
Yeah,
been-
exactly. And it feels like the shimmer is going to keep spreading
Yeah.
through them somehow.
But that's the thing, because I sort of see it as them merging. When they embrace each other at the
Yeah.
end, his eyes start lighting up, and then her eyes start lighting up, and they're sort of becoming a new
A
thing.
new entity?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Or something.
I didn't think about
I'm
it like
open.
that,
I'm
yeah.
open to that
No,
possibility.
I'm open to. It's just not exciting for me.
And
Like it wasn't.
apparently, and I heard this later. Apparently, the water changes.
Yeah, in the glass when she
When
has it
she's-
beside her. I saw that as well. Like
Yeah.
there's something like and that was my first hint that she's not
There's
who she was.
Yeah, there's something more.
Yeah, because it felt like, for me, it felt like whatever she's interacting with, she's breaking apart the molecules.
And
the
that's
DNA.
probably what's happening.
Yeah.
She's still, it's become a part of her.
And I don't think anyone could miss that. Like, I
No.
hope not. Like, I think
No,
if you
but
look
people
away,
do. People do. Like, and a lot of people are saying that she is the clone, even though she blew the clone up, which I still think she did. But again,
I think
she
blew
has
the clones.
been.
I don't think.
She tested her DNA.
And she saw that she was being altered,
already
yeah.
being cloned or whatever
she
was happening.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't think she was
So-
cloned. I think she just, like, she was not the same.
Yeah, she was
Like,
mutated.
Mutated. There you go. That's the one.
Yeah, so
Uh,
she was something new, different.
Yeah. But
But yeah, no. So obviously the ending, it is sci-fi. It is a
no,
bit
it is
weird.
sci-fi. I don't mind that. It was just not
Uh,
exciting enough for
no.
me. Like, it was like,
And I like I said, I agree, but
I don't mind
I
the
liked
ending.
it.
Yeah, I don't mind the ending.
I
Like,
would have
it's
liked
fine.
to see something more substantial,
Mm-hmm.
maybe. But the whole movie just makes it up to me in that way. For
Yeah.
me, it's awesome. It's got everything that I want in
Mm-hmm.
it, and with the spliced crocodile shark was the fucking winner for me.
I like those.
It was- and it was
but the
such a-
bear was cooler.
Yeah. Oh man.
But let's leave the bear because it's such a good part.
Yeah.
Let's
Fucking-
just leave
That's
it. Yeah.
amazing.
It was
That,
a
that
really-
idea was great too.
It's so horrible as well.
So
Like,
horrible.
but it's such a nice hunting thing.
And that's something that I enjoyed and sort of didn't like with the movie, that it's so real in its gore. Whenever something bad or nasty is happening,
Yeah, they
they
just
don't
show-
sugarcoat it.
Yeah, not at all.
It's like it's full on.
Yeah, it's like the little tape thing that they find.
Oh,
the,
man.
the one we're recording the podcast with as well. Those little cards.
Mhm. I actually had, like, when I saw it the second and third time, I skipped that part. Like it was because they just fucking kept dragging it
Yeah,
out, and it took forever. That's so fucking gross.
But I really liked the sort of like, I liked when how they in the beginning looked at cancer, and
Yeah.
that's pretty much how these things like grew on walls and shit.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the guy there in the video has been sort of like he's grown up against the
That
wall
was
and everything.
That's the coolest image from the movie, and that's why they
Uh-huh.
made it into the poster.
It was a poster. I haven't seen the
No,
poster or anything.
it's part of it. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I didn't pay attention, but it's so cool.
I think it's the image on Netflix.
Okay, cool.
So-
I didn't pay attention.
But yeah, yes, like this. I don't know. We've already sort of spoiled it, so we just spoil it.
No,
It is
keep
the
going.
image for the Netflix one, so it's not a spoiler.
Yeah.
But a character has grown up, like it's mutated so much that he's sort of grown apart and kept growing along a wall,
Yeah.
and it's so beautiful.
Yeah, it's
and
such a.
It's such a cool.
Imagine like a flower that grows up against a wall, sort of
Yeah,
like one of those
vines.
vine wall vines. I don't know what the fuck.
Yeah, and then
But it's really nice.
and
Yeah.
then have a sort of a person in
Yeah.
everything.
And imagine that it's not only like vines; it's like moss, colorful moss. Like I
Yeah.
don't think that one is that colorful, but outside. The first time they sort of
yeah,
stumble
yeah.
upon it,
Yeah.
and it's
Super
like,
bright
it
colours
looks
and-
like all these crazy colors because it's like tons of DNAs and shit mixed up in there.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's pretty cool.
And a lot of those trippy visuals, like for you
Yeah.
stoners out there. Like,
But it was really nice. I really enjoyed it though. Like
Yeah.
it was fun. Like up until the point where I sort of like got meh, but it wasn't bad. It was just like it lost sort of the edge that it had up until that point because I want to know more about that shimmer and how it affects the world. And like, oh my god,
yeah. You could explore this forever.
exactly right. And that's what I wanted more of instead of having this entity. It's not. It's just microbes for me. That would have been nice, and they just kept being crazy. Like in some way, like they're not for our, like they break us apart instead of keeping us together.
I wouldn't be surprised if they did sort of a prequel sequel to it because of the whole. Because when Natalie Portman comes in, they've already had the shimmer there for
3 years.
Yeah, so,
think so, yeah.
they've sent in a lot of people to investigate that's never come back, and it'd be cool to just I don't know, come with them, like the first people that went in.
Yeah.
What did they see? How did it look like back then? How much had it evolved into?
Yeah.
What did it like? There's so much I want to see. But what did you think? Because I remember mentioning last time that, I mean, Natalie Portman just elevates the movie so much with her acting abilities.
Yeah, that worked actually.
Like,
the screaming
Exactly.
and the, it
like
was
she
really
just
good,
fucking sells it. You
Yeah,
know, it
it's
feels
not- yeah.
it feels real in another way.
But I
than
think
it-
that's because she's an actor, and the people in the movies that we're referring to are not actors.
Yeah,
They're
yeah.
just like chicks with dicks. I was gonna say, but that's not what I meant. I meant
what the fuck?
no, but I just meant like how do you say that? No, but I meant I was just gonna say that they're sort of there for shallow reasons.
Yeah, yeah.
and not for their dicks.
And that's again why I love this movie so much, because it is all like it's a full female cast, and it's so natural and awesome. You know, like finally Hollywood has just realized that you don't have to force women into movies or like force them to be some sort of hero. They can just be heroes like they've always been, like they always are. Fucking awesome characters, just like Black Panther, and just how
Yeah,
awesomely
those-
they
yeah,
fucking made the female warriors.
Yeah,
and,
they
you
were
know.
really warriors.
Yes.
The only problem I have here with the rest of the cast, like this movie could have just been Natalie Portman walking around in the shimmer for me. Like,
Really?
I don't think,
You
yeah,
didn't
because I don't
the
think
other guys.
did anything. No,
No?
like Poe, unnecessary. Like he
Yeah,
could
he-
have been there in spirit.
But he needed to be there to carry, like, to actually make. Because
No. I mean, like the scenes with the flashbacks and
Mm-hmm.
shit. Those are great. The rest you don't need. You need him at the end, maybe for the thing.
the thing is, and this is a bit of a spoiler, but
yeah, it's because we haven't had those.
pretty
yet.
much
Yeah.
what the movie is for me is her struggle with her adultery, like her being that she cheated on Poe.
Yeah, that's why she owes him, I guess. Yeah.
And that's why she's doing the whole thing.
Yeah.
Like That's her messed up. Everybody is damaged in the movie.
But again,
And-
that's where I sort of think it falls short on those things. Like, there's only that one scene to sort of support that.
It's a lot of scenes actually. There's
Is
a lot
there?
of flashbacks. And the cool
Was
thing
there?
is
Oh,
the
maybe you've
shimmer
seen it
is
more.
actually mirroring her life as well. The house that they're into, you know, when the viney stuff happens to you know,
Oh, that lady, the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that house is like an exact copy of her house.
Is it?
Yeah, so it's not only grabbing things that are in the shimmer, it's like maybe even
Yeah.
copying things from their
Mines. Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot of stuff happening. There's so
Yeah.
many different layers. You need
That's
to
cool,
see
but-
it sort of
But
more
you
than
know
once.
what I mean?
but-
That's what I wanted to explore. The rest, when it becomes like an entity,
yeah,
it loses interest because then it's like it's the entity, the thing, you know. But when it is just that sort of, like when the mystery is still sort of active, I don't know. I don't know how I would have done it better.
No.
Like, but I'm just saying that it lost me when it's like, oh, it's the bad guy, you know, sort of
yeah,
like
yeah.
unintentional.
No,
but
I get
yeah.
it. I get it.
And I think that the
Oh,
rest
shit.
of them they were pointless. Like they don't get to play around. Like they're not there enough.
No.
Like they're there, but they're not getting the space
Yeah,
to grow.
exactly.
You don't
You don't
believe
get to know them in that way.
That's you sort of give
should-
a fuck. You know, like when they get grabbed, you're like, fucking out of the way. Get it out.
I
Get
don't
her.
remember her name, but sort of, you know, the leader of the group.
Something V.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyways, the woman who walks to the house, the lighthouse.
Yeah, the lighthouse lady.
I loved her character, and she was so mean and
I
You-
didn't
you
see
sort
her
of-
as mean.
no, but I mean, she was grumpy all the time, and she was
but that
direct, and she was doing her
but
thing.
that was because she was sending out people to die.
Yeah,
and then she got
But
sort
you
of,
needed
yeah.
that character, and you needed all the other characters. I think.
But I
Like,
think they all disappeared pointlessly, like
Yeah.
except the Valkyrie lady.
yeah,
She sort of
That was-
disappears in a cool way.
yeah, and it was sort of it was so fucking creepy too.
Yeah.
It's so good, so well made.
Because
And-
you just see it like, oh shit, look at that, and then she's gone.
She's gone. Yeah, it's so awesome.
Yeah, I like
Man,
that.
Fuck, I
That was
wanna
the
go
only
and
one.
see it again.
That's the only one I like, and then the bear thing.
Yeah.
Because of the bear thing.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah.
Later, it's not the actual death, but what comes after.
Yeah, the thing.
Yeah, the follow up. So, I think and then I don't know. Some of them are just like you don't get enough time to care,
No.
and that could have, for me, it could have just been Natalie Portman walking alone and seeing weird shit.
But
and
she pretty much did.
yeah, and she does.
Yeah. But yeah, I totally get that too.
Yeah.
I wish we could have had more time to get to know the other people,
Yeah, exactly.
just to establish the world more and
I think so.
and make it hurt more. You know.
Thank you. That's what
Yeah.
I was after, like that emotional connection. Because when you sort of play around with that, it's stronger. Like,
Yeah, of course. But and the movie does have, I don't know if you picked up on it or not, but I thought the whole movie had such an eerie tone to it. Like it was,
No, but it does. It's very mellow.
there's something like in the pit of your stomach constantly. You just feel like something's off,
Yeah.
and it feels
The blur,
obehagligt,
yeah, the
you know?
blurry camera doesn't really help as well. Like you're just like, am I just out of focus? Is my screen like is?
Yeah, but it's so
How did-
subtle.
yeah,
and
no,
you're
but
just like, what the fuck
I
is
was
going
like,
on?
do I have HD setting on? I was like, what? I'm like, is my Wi-Fi connection down, or is it supposed to look like this? Because sometimes it's so like, they're so out of focus. You just see them from afar. You get like a clear read, but you don't get a clear read. You
It's
know,
so
like
good.
eyes and everything disappears into sort of like detailless
But
blur.
it adds to
No,
that whole
it was
creepiness
good, it was
of
good.
the movie. Yeah.
Like for me, it's just the character development and then the end, sort of that like.
Yeah.
It's not a bad ending. It's just not interesting ending
It's
for me.
It's the meh.
Yeah, it's the meh.
Yeah.
But it's fine. Like I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it up to the point.
Would
where-
you recommend it to other people?
I don't know. I guess. Yeah. Like it's a sci-fi movie. Watch it. Give it a chance. Like I like the concept, so I might like recommend it because of that. I personally enjoyed it, but it's not something I'm gonna go around and talk about. Like
No.
when I saw one of my favorite sci-fi movies, Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah.
With Tom Cruise.
Yes.
Dude, I watched it, I think 3 to 4 times that same day. Like I watched it, I think I saw it like in the morning. Or no, did I see it at night? And then I rewatched it. And then when I woke up, I saw it twice more. I think that's how it was. Like, I saw it twice in the same night. And trust me, I don't rewatch movies nowadays. So I watched it twice that night. I was like, I need to watch this again. There's something about it that I just like. It works so well.
Yeah.
Like, if... No, I'm just gonna... Have you seen Oblivion with Tom Cruise as well?
Yeah.
That one is good, but then at some point, you know... It
Meh.
Meh. Like,
Yeah.
I think the ending for me there is like meh.
Because that one, I'm not interested in seeing again. I'm happy with just seeing it the one time.
No, but I
Oblivion.
like when he sort of like walks around and then he has that secret place, all of that with the retro stuff, you know.
Yeah, but it's...
That works, but it's not like... And I like the freedom fighters or whatever the fuck they are. And but then when it starts to sort of like... When the bad guy sort of... Or, you know, the entity or whatever the fuck it is. When we get to that point, that's when I like... Ugh, man.
Yeah.
But we're in Edge of Tomorrow. I don't know how it sort of... Like now I haven't seen it in a few years, but I don't remember what the sort of... How it ended.
The climax of the movie?
Yeah, I don't remember at all. Like, we don't have to say it as well. I'm just
I
gonna
remember
rewind.
clearly.
Yeah. Really?
Oh, yeah.
Fuck, dude. I know. I haven't thought about it ever since. But I'm gonna rewatch it. So
You should. It's good.
Oh, it's so good. Like, dude, I love it.
I think they're still... I don't know if it's green lit yet, but they are doing a sequel to it. Or a prequel or something similar.
So yeah, this is Sci-Fi Hour with the Sketchbook Heroes.
And you know that it's actually based off a manga, right?
Is it?
Yeah. I think it's called...
Awesome.
What is it? Eat, Kill, Die, Repeat or something.
Oh yeah, that sounds super familiar actually. Now that you say it.
And it was supposed to be named that. No! Oh, it's... What is it? Something blah 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 kill.
Repeat.
No. I think that was the tagline for the movie.
Oh, okay.
And then it was going to be called that, and then Edge of Tomorrow.
Yeah, I have
or something.
no idea.
But I love it. I think it's like Operation Kill or something like that. I think that's what the manga is called.
Cool.
Haven't read it. I don't know.
Yeah, you can Google it for us.
It's loosely based.
Loosely based on.
But that's awesome.
Yeah,
also.
it's so like I love how unforgiving it is. Like when he dies, like it's not gory in any way, but it is sort of like I don't know. I enjoy it.
And for people who don't know what it is, it's sort of a sci-fi action Groundhog Day.
Yeah, exactly what I was gonna say. Like a mecha Groundhog Day.
That's exactly what it is.
So it's like people with exoskeleton mechs with Groundhog Day,
yeah.
but you die every day.
Yes.
Until you get it right, I guess. I don't know. Did they ever explain why he's stuck in the loop?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, they did.
Cool. I'll rewatch it then, just because I love it.
It's still on Netflix, I think.
I think so. So I think that is one of my favorite sci-fi movies.
Yeah, it's definitely on up there, like in the top.
But I can't think of any others. Like, Dark City, I guess qualifies
Dark City
as
is awesome.
Yeah, I haven't seen that since we watched. No, we watched it at your birthday party when we were kids.
Yeah.
But we also watched. I watched it after. Plus, it went on TV at some point. You seen Kiefer Sutherland in it as well?
Yeah,
I think so, right?
Yeah, yes. Yes.
But that one is also worth a watch. Like I really like the ideas behind it.
Great, like the environments and the idea of it is awesome.
Dude, there's an ending that's not satisfying, but sort of is. You know, like it's a good ending.
Yeah.
But it's not.
I think it has multiple endings.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but it's like for me, I was like, no, but I still could accept it. You know, like it's just like, fuck. I don't know. I liked it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome. Like I'm just trying to think of like my favorite sci-fi movies, but
The Fifth Element.
Fifth Element,
But
definitely. But I'm more
Big
of an
Bada
aliens type of guy.
Yeah, I don't know.
I like creature movies. The Thing, it's awesome.
The Thing, but that's not sci-fi.
The original. Yeah.
But is that sci-fi?
Have you seen it?
No, I don't remember. Like,
It's about an alien
is it?
taking over people. Yeah.
Which one's that? Oh, The Thing. Oh shit, we're talking Kurt Russell? Dude, come on. I was like, The Thing.
Russ,
Swamp
man.
Thing. I don't know. Swamp Thing was what I was thinking. I was like, Swamp Thing. Sci-fi?
No, that was on YouTube.
Okay, The Thing.
yeah.
Yes. Okay, I like
Yeah.
The Thing as well. I watched it like a bazillion times as
It's
a
awesome.
kid.
It's like the practical effects in it.
Yeah, but they're all
Amazing.
practical effects.
Yeah,
in it. Like,
but it's
there's
amazing.
No,
Like-
it was really good. We enjoyed it as a kid, and I remember them making like they did a remake that sucked balls. And
I don't think it
know.
sucked.
No, but I think it was
It's
just
actually
like
pretty good.
you thought.
Yeah.
It was okay.
Like,
I didn't
it's
enjoy
a-
it.
It's still a remake, and
It's
a
a
remake is
remake.
what it is.
But I guess I think that my problem with remakes is that
It's-
when it was done, it was like,
It's a remake, but it's a sequel.
is it?
It carries on the story. So they sort of work together. So you
Okay.
don't have to see it
Yeah.
because the first one stands alone. But yeah, I don't
Okay.
know. I enjoyed it at least. It's
Okay.
been a really long time since I got it from Anna actually. So I have it on DVD somewhere.
Yeah, I haven't seen it. I saw it when it was released just because, but
I've actually packed all my DVDs now.
holy dicks.
It's
Oh yeah, and you got to rent the place out for millions.
yes.
Which is not
No,
millions,
not
but
millions.
good money though.
I'm getting money from renting at my apartment.
And does the renting place charge you for it?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
But they keep track of the payment and stuff like that? How is that gonna work?
I'm
Does the
still
company-
paying. I'm paying for my apartment, obviously, but they're paying me to rent it. Like they're renting from me.
From you, okay.
So I become the landlord.
Cool.
So I get a deposit and I get the rent.
Boom.
Bada boom. Yes.
Which site did you use, by the way?
This one was. I think it was the first one you tipped me about. Not the one that King uses. but the first
but
one
the
you
first one
found.
I sent. Yeah, the one I sent
Uh,
before I gave you that one.
Yeah, exactly. I think it was Home X something.
Yeah.
You gave me 3.
I gave you 3.
I used 2 of them. The one that King uses, I wrote a personal mail and never got a reply.
Fuck those
So
guys.
fuck them. And then I used different amounts on the other 2 sites, and this one was the really expensive one that I just tried.
Yeah, and that's the one
and it
that
fucking sold.
replied.
Yeah,
They're like
amazing.
14,000. What a deal!
Amazing.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
so
really
now
good because
Everything is done.
we're gonna
now.
need it.
Yeah. Well, everything is not done. I'm getting new locks.
Oh shit!
Yes,
Yeah, the locks.
I am.
But hasn't she sent you the key?
Loved 80s cars.